What's up, guys? Drew here with another one. I got my man.
Yo, you already know what it is like. First in the building. Let's get at it.
Yeah, man. So today, we're just gonna be chopping it up per usual. So, we talk about personal development, spiritual growth, current events.
Your thoughts, bro? Right. So we'll entertain it a little bit, right? So with this whole debate presidency, so
Mhm.
what's your thoughts, right? So what do you think? You think Biden, takes the office, or you think Trump stays in? What's your thoughts?
In terms of this whole presidential elections, honestly, I'm not even gonna say who gonna win or who ain't gonna win. It's more so in terms of the aftermath after they decide who's what. Um, if Trump stays, it's just going to be more of what he's been doing. Like I already said, it's just more of what he's going to do, and people are going to react in a certain way to get him out. In terms of Biden coming in, I don't really necessarily know if he's going to keep those promises he's been talking about because I've heard that many a times. They all come in with the same thing. So, yep, I got all the this, the that, the third, and this and that and third, and then it just silently go away. Silently go. You don't hear nothing about it. Just like these police officers that are walking around free right now, you don't hear nothing about it no more. They don't talk about it no more, right? What's going on with those cases? What happened with those? No word
Yeah.
because it's not on the news, so not gonna hear nothing about it, and you don't live there, so you don't really know. Where's all that at now? Where's all that
Yeah.
energy
Yeah.
at?
Facts.
Where's
Facts.
all that
Facts.
energy at?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where did he go?
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
saying, where's the
Mm-hmm.
same people? Where that at? Where's that
Yeah.
energy at?
Facts. Yeah.
Oh, right, exactly. But best
Mm-hmm.
believe if a different one happens, that energy will come back, right? You got mad. At the same time, it's like, where is that energy at? We still haven't seen no results from it. So in the day, and I even seen that. I don't know if you ever seen that video. They were the other one, the other cops was just walking around in the store buying
Yeah.
milk,
Yeah. Right. Homie. Yeah.
buying
Yeah.
milk,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
bro. What?
It's
What?
insanity, bro. It's insanity. When you really think about it, right? It's insanity because when these things happen, we literally do the exact same thing. We shall overcome, right? Black Lives Matter, huh, right? And you got all these individuals coming down, giving all these types of speeches, this, that, and the other, right? And then, like you just said, right? And then boom, some time goes on, and then sure enough, what happens again? Another killing, right? And then we shift right over to that one while all forgetting all about this one over here. And then what happens again? Another killing, right? And then so forth and so on to the point where we're numb to it, right? Because then why? Before we can even understand what happened, what do? Assassinate the character of the individual, right? Mind you, that's the victim, but they will assassinate that character, right? To the point you're looking at that person as if they deserve it. Yes.
Just to just reiterate on that just for a quick second. I'm still trying to figure where is this video of them getting put in handcuffs, getting into a car, and getting drived off. Like we didn't see none of that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You showed me a picture of somebody in the mugshot. What is that? Since when do we do that? You know what
Correct.
I mean? If it was anything else, it's breaking news. Do to interrupt whatever programs on TV. Say breaking
Right.
news. You know what I mean? So it just didn't. That just didn't make any sense to me.
This movement, this push, this everything that we're experiencing right now, don't think for a second, right? This is just all by some fluke that we all just all of a sudden just got this urge, this spark, this calling, right? Just to, right, it's like a beacon, something just triggered, activated us, where it's like, well, hold on, like you started to understand things, see things, authentic communicate things, you know, on a whole nother level like you did before. You started to understand that, you know, this manipulation and the emotional attachments that comes from it, right? That shit means nothing, right? It was like, I'm not gonna sit here and get worked up over that. Let me get real down to the real nitty gritty of things, right? Right. And you can't even like when other people sees it, they're like, what are you? What are you? How are you able to do that? Right? As if you're some kind of right app human, right? Right. So and I understand that, right? So not because, and again, we fear what we don't understand. And we don't understand ourselves. So the first thing we do is fear, right?
That goes back. We need to understand ourselves, increase your awareness. You need to better your awareness about yourself. Observe yourself. Go check out the video. It will be right here, about how to better your awareness. You know, so, and I hear you, bro. It makes perfect sense that we naturally are afraid of things that we don't understand. But once we figure it out, take time to observe it and learn about it. It's like, oh, there's nothing to be afraid of. Yeah. Just like when you're a kid, you're a child growing up, you see the dark, you fear the dark because you don't know what's in there. You don't. So, but then your parents come in, turn on the light. You're like, oh, it's just a room that I always walk through, but I never noticed it because now it's dark. So in terms of that, it's just we just need to get a better grasp of who we are and understand our power, which comes from within. And truly, I feel like the world is going through uh pretty much what they call shadow work right now. So all the past traumas and all of that is coming to the surface, and all of us is going through that as a collective. So whatever demons or whatever you may call it that you need to face, you have to face it and embrace it because it's a part of you. It's like we try to ignore the things that we don't like about ourselves, but at the end of the day, we need to embrace that, because what happens is when you ignore those things that you don't like about yourself, you tend to see them in other people, and that triggers you. And you don't understand why it triggers you. But if you already know that, hey, the only reason I got mad because this person is doing this is because that's something that I myself don't like. That's why I'm reacting towards that way. But that takes work. And we have to get to the point where we're comfortable with our thoughts and our feelings. It's a part of us. You can't run away from it. You got one body, enjoy it, love it, get to know it, spend time with you. Stop trying to distract yourself with social media. It's like people don't know how to be alone, bro. They don't know how to be alone. And it's gonna come back down, and you're gonna get it once you understand it. You really get it when you really get to know yourself. You'll understand exactly what we're talking about. So it's gonna be up to you to go do the research and learn about yourself. Do the work, put the work in. So in the day, I'm still working. I'm still working on learning how to know about me, because there's things that happen to me that, I don't necessarily remember all of it, but some things in your mind, you can think back to that bad thing that happened to you and you'll remember it like it's happening right now. But you have to come to terms with all of that. It's like, hey, that already happened. There's nothing you can do to change that. Nothing. Nothing you can do to change that. So at the end of the day, you have to embrace that. Whether somebody hurt you in the past, forgive them. Because I've been saying this for a while now, for about a week now, more than a week. For a while now, I've been saying, the feeling that you have of the resentment towards somebody who hurt you, they themselves may not necessarily have that same feeling. You're the only one that's really holding on to that energy. If you actually release that, then it would be gone from you, because they're not holding on to that because they probably forgot about that. So somebody may have hurt you in the past and they completely forgot about that. They're not thinking about that. They're already moving on with their life, living their life. You're the only one that's holding on to that energy. You have to release that. And the more you suppress these things, your body starts to react to that. And that's why some people get sick, they get all these other illnesses. That's where the source comes from. Because you're holding on to negative energy. Release that.
You was cooking, bro.
Majority of people are living in their shadow right now, right? And they don't even know it. So the trauma that you experienced when you were a kid, you're still holding on to that. You didn't really let it go. You didn't forgive the people. And the other thing too, after you forgive that person, make sure you forgive yourself too. Forgiveness is the key, man. Just let those energy go, bro. Don't hold on to them. They ain't doing nothing for you. So that's where I'm at, man. I don't know if you ever heard about shadow work, but that's something that had to do, bro. Because onto that negative energy, bro. And the other conclusion that I came to, right, in terms of the shadow, I feel like it's the opposite side of consciousness. And they say that the shadow is created by the ego. I think that the shadow created the ego, because at the end of the day, if shadow itself could be its own entity.
You was doing, bro. I will keep that rocking, keep that going.
All right. So in terms of shadow, right?
Yep.
I really truly believe that shadow is the opposite of consciousness, right? Shadow created the ego. And for me, a shadow that I didn't even realize that I was living in is my name, right? Because my real name isn't Andrew. My real name is actually Peebo. Well, because when I was younger, people used to make fun of my name, I started hating my name. So that's where that shadow was created in terms of my name. So there's a trigger that happens when I hear that name. When I hear my real name, and there's a trigger, and on top of that, there's a reoccurring thing where my mom don't even call me by my regular name, which is very interesting because when you put it all together, right? It's like though that shadow was created, right? It's like it kept reinforcing itself into existence in a sense, right? So, but now I've come to terms with it. I'm okay. You call me that or this, it don't even affect me anymore. But I remember, dude, I was in school. I would legit go up to the teacher, tell her to call me Andrew, this, that, and that. That's how extreme it was, bro. So, when I say that people are living in their shadow, the shadow really controls their actions, bro. The way they feel, their actions, all of that, because certain things you get triggered by and you don't understand what it is because you suppress that shadow and you're like, nah, that's a side about me that I don't like. But at the end of the day, now we're at a point now where we have to face all of those and embrace it. Because within all of that, because even for me, right, I was like, I don't like to read. I don't like writing. I don't like to read. I don't like to write, right? Because of when I was growing up. I remember when my mom was trying to get me to spell my name. It's only 5 letters, bro. I still remember it till this day, like how you don't know how to spell your name. It's only 5 letters. And from that, another shadow was born. So from that point, I'm like, yo, I don't know how to spell. And that followed me all the way, bro. Till it got to a point where it started coming into my reality. So you see, the shadows are created. I feel like it's its own entity. So it starts to create things in your reality to match up with what you're already thinking. So it's like, nah, you can't have a shadow and then you see it, you get triggered by it. The more you get triggered by it, the more energy you put into it, the bigger it becomes. So what we need to understand is that, hey, at the end of the day, these things that we don't like about ourselves, we need to embrace it, because what's going to start happening is you're going to start seeing it on other people, and it's going to continuously trigger you. And the shadow, the more you get triggered, which is your emotions, you put energy into that. So you're making it into even a bigger shadow. And after a while, you don't even notice. You just think that's you. You see what I'm saying? So that could be the reason why we don't truly understand ourselves too. Because we haven't faced all of those. So now it's coming to the surface. I feel like we're all as a collective, and I feel like as a collective, we all have shadows. So if you think about it, there's consciousness as a collective, right? A collective consciousness. Then there's got to be a conscious collective of shadows, right? So that means that's what's coming. We're at the max now. So it's like it's coming out now. You can no longer ignore it. Now it's time for you to go in and do the work you need to do and embrace that. Forgive all the people that done you wrong, because they're not thinking about that. That's not even on their mind. So it's up to you to be like, you know what? Past is the past. There's nothing you can do to change that. All you can do now is create from right now and create from within to create a better future. Ready?
Yo, bro. I mean, nothing, bro. That was a pretty dope. That was literally a pretty dope. Now, granted, so it's so. So let me ask you a question, right? Now, was this something that you started to write about before you stumbled upon it, or you started to do research on it?
I researched. I heard. So I heard about it, but when I did the research, the part about consciousness being the other shadow being the other side of consciousness, that's from me. I didn't hear anybody say that. That was a conclusion that I came to because it only made sense. Because once it got down to the part where it was like it's another entity, and let me give you one. Let me hit you with another one. When you think of yin and yang, in dark consciousness and shadow, there you go. Because it's white and light and dark, that's just how that's just the conclusion that I came to.
Interesting. Yeah. Now I love it, bro. I love that. I love that a lot. I wanna absorb it. You know how I do what I but I like that though. I like that a lot.
I know, bro. And for me, it was just like it actually helped me, bro. It helped me a lot in terms of like just doing that shadow work, bro. Like if this is the first time you're hearing about shadow work, just go on. You can go on YouTube. You can do some research because there's people that will go even deeper in it. I just recently did some research on it. I'm doing the work myself right now in terms of, dealing with those past traumas and understanding that, hey, at the end of the day, there's nothing I can do to change those. But all I know is this: I can do what I need to do to create a better future, myself and my family. You know what I mean? So say that to say this. I want to thank y'all for watching King Talk Live. Let's Talk episode 8. I want to thank my man, Life First.
You know what it is, Life First. Thank you guys very much again for checking out yet again another episode. We got some more coming soon. Look out for us.
Exactly. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our amazing videos.